What's up, guys? Welcome back to True Sound Studios. I'm Weezna, and today I'm going to show you guys the Softube bus processor plugin. So now if you just quickly look at this plugin, it kind of just looks like another SSL bus compressor plugin, but I promise you it is not. So with all that being said, here's a track that I quickly created, everything except for the vocals, which came from a vocalist on Instagram. I'll link that down in the description box down below. So let's take a listen to this track. I'm gonna have this on the mix bus, just totally zeroed out, fresh start, and I'll go ahead and enhance this mix. So there you go. That is the bus processor plugin. Great sounding compression. You can really hear it, just kind of bringing out a little bit more of the room and just making those drums a bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but just a little punchier. And I love an SSL bus compressor on drums in general. So this is just enhancing that slightly. Now, if you notice, I did roll off some of the low end from actually, triggering the compression here. So I had set it somewhere around 60, 70 hertz for this particular track. The kick and the bass aren't super low, so I thought this was pretty good. Threshold, trying to do usually 2 dB is good. For some songs I get all the way up to 4 dB. It just obviously totally depends on the track itself. The attack is the slowest at 30 milliseconds. The release for the mix bus, I typically like to put it on auto. It usually sounds the best. If I need to get some more drums out of the track, I will actually put it the fastest release. But most of the time, I think auto sounds pretty good. I don't know, between 3 and 4 to 1 ratio is usually pretty good. This sounded really good right around there, 3 1/4. And then I didn't mess with the knee. Now, what I really like is that spatial section. I think that really helps, not just in the mix bus, but in any of your groups that you're going to have. I mean, it really sounds wonderful. And this is the reason why I also will use this in mastering, because adding a little bit more air is a different plugin that I would normally have to pull up. The width control is usually another plugin I have to pull up. And then monoing out the bass is another plugin. Now I didn't use this saturation. It gets a little tricky when you saturate an entire mix like this. On groups, I think it's amazing, but for the mix bus, I don't really think it works out. It depends on the song. It depends on what you're going for. But that spatial section really helps kind of like change a mix, and why I love it in mastering or on something like this, the mix bus. So down here is, what I got. Turned up that air band, really brought out those vocals, which is pretty much the brightest thing in the track. When you start to push the sides a little bit more. Once again, the vocals are also the widest thing in the track. So as we started to bring out a little bit more of the sides, we're hearing more vocal. Of course, we could turn down the vocal, but I thought it was a pretty good mix right around here. Don't need to push it too far. And then monoing out the bass helps us get a little bit more of a punchy center mix, you know, without having some of the spatial bass sounds and things like that in that low end. Just this really helps to bring out a nice center focus on the low end, which typically means more punch. So let's just go ahead one more time and just engage and disengage just the spatial section. So if you guys are enjoying this video, please click that like button. It just sounds so nice. This, and please don't just copy these settings. This is for this particular track. Once again, that vocal is very bright. So this is really enhancing that vocal in particular. Now, if my drums were super bright sounding, you know, this probably wouldn't work as nicely, but because I intentionally filtered out that drum sound, it really makes that vocal shine so nicely. And then pushing the width out just kind of excites the mix a little bit more. It just makes it sound more exciting. And then also, if you guys notice, I just boosted the overall output because we are, you know, we're gain reducing roughly 2, and so to turn it up roughly 2 kind of helps. So anyways, love what this is doing. And also I love, you know, the little bit of extra drum punch we're getting, that, of course, that glue sound. But speaking of drums, let's put this on the drum bus as well and see what this can do. Okay, so here's what we have on the drum bus. So we're not on the mix bus anymore. This is the drum bus. So attack, once again, at the slowest, but the release is at the fastest. So I'm really trying to get some drum excitement out of this. We're at 4:1, so definitely compressing these, you know, even more. I do have this sidechain filter on at 78 hertz, so to really try not to have that kick drum, you know, trigger the compression as much. Really just add just a bit of air, a little bit of widening, monoing out the bass. But I'll show you guys, at least with this particular sound, adding some saturation to it, because I do think this works really nicely on the drums. So you can hear we are really hitting these drums hard, doing a decent amount of gain reduction on here. But when I bypass that, it really takes away some of the excitement that the drums have. Now, real quick, I'm just going to disengage my filter EQ and turn off the hi-hats and let you listen to what this sounds like without something being so filtered. So you can hear what this is doing on drums. Now, I think an SSL bus compressor or just an SSL channel strip compressor, probably my favorite things to put on drums. They just sound so good, and I have so much analog gear and plugins, and I tell you, like, it just, at least to my ears, it just sounds the best. And the saturation that this thing also has on something like the drums works so nice. Now, I don't think for this particular song that saturation is doing what I want. But I mean, you can hear how awesome you could create this nice, crunchy, like very soothing, very pleasing sounding saturation. And it seems to work. I don't want to say on everything, but you know, a large majority of things that you put it on. So guys, that is the Softube bus processor plugin. You can see it sounds awesome on drums. It does wonders on the mix bus. And like I had told you, love using it in mastering as well. I think it's a really, really great, super versatile plugin. And it doesn't necessarily have like any like bad features to it. I would say the saturation is the one thing that gets a little, you know, more particular. It doesn't seem like you can use it on quite everything, but just overall, it is really, truly a great plugin. So guys, I have a lot of videos coming up. Please hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Go check out the Softube bus processor plugin for yourself. But till the next video, I'll see you guys then.